Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Golden Cruiser. I'm Cindy, and today we're going to be talking about some hidden dangers of cruising that seniors don't see coming. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about some hidden risks that seniors don't think about or see coming. So grab a drink and maybe a snack, sit back and relax, and let's talk about cruising. The number one thing is assuming Medicare has you covered at sea. Now, it's easy to feel safe when you have Medicare or other backup insurance that you think is going to cover anything that would happen to you while you're on a cruise, but that's not true. They will not cover you at sea. So make sure and get some travel insurance or cruise insurance. It's very, very important. I don't sail without it. Way back in the day when I was younger, I never took travel insurance. I thought, nothing's going to happen to me. But this is for anybody, actually, not just seniors. It's really important. It's inexpensive. You can usually get it directly through the cruise line when you're booking. That's usually what I do. And this time I called them to make sure of everything that was covered in it because you want to make sure pre-existing conditions are covered and that medical evacuation would be covered in case they have to flight you off the ship in one of those helicopters or get you off the ship to port. Those could cost thousands and thousands of dollars, 10,000 or more. So you want to make sure and have insurance. Anything you get from the medical center on board a cruise ship is very, very expensive. Even if you just have a cold and you want to go there and get some Tylenol or something, you will pay a lot. So make sure everything is covered in it that you would need, and then you can feel better, about taking your cruise and not have to worry about that. Number two is being too confident about your balance. Now, you may not worry about this on land. You may not have a problem with your balance, but things are different when you get on a cruise ship. You've got the movement of the ship. You've got, like if you're getting off on a Tenderboat to go into port, that's a step into the boat that's moving and everything. Or the pool deck could be wet and you could slip on it. So you want to be careful of your balance. It's sometimes good to wear sturdy shoes with non-slip soles on them. So if there was an incident like wet area, even the crew when they're mopping and they'll put the sign up that it's wet, you want to just be cautious of those areas and get some good shoes for that. Number three is underestimating the power of the sun. Even on cloudy days, the sun rays bounce off everything on a cruise ship. Up to 80% of the UV rays can still penetrate cloud covers. So for travelers who love reading by the pool or enjoying lunch outside, seniors need to take this more seriously, as seniors are more sensitive to sun damage and sunburns. So if you're going to be out in the sun on the pool deck or something, make sure you have a really good broad spectrum sunscreen, at least 50 SPF or higher. And dermatologists do recommend wearing lightweight UV protected clothes that you can buy where the UV rays don't go through. And wear a wide brimmed hat and polarized sunglasses. Very important to protect your eyes also. Number four is forgetting to hydrate. Now, if you love shore excursions or tropical ports, make sure and stay hydrated. Dehydration is one of the most common causes of fatigue and confusion in seniors. So carry an insulated bottle of water with you and sip water throughout the day. I do. I probably drink more water than anyone I know. I constantly have my water with me, even by my bedside table at night, because I drink so much water. That's probably the number one drink I drink out of everything. I don't drink sodas, coffees. I drink iced tea occasionally, but water. So make sure you have water with you. Those cocktails, those alcohol drinks, those sodas, drinks with sugar, those are making you more dehydrated. They aren't helping you one bit. They're dehydrating you more. So if you are drinking a cocktail or alcoholic beverage, make sure you're drinking water along with it. I always do that. I have a bottle of water. I'll be drinking my cocktail. I'll be drinking some water, and that really helps you to stay hydrated. It's very important. Now, if you don't like plain water, which I know a lot of people that hate water. They don't like drinking plain water. You can buy those powdered packages and just pour them in a bottle of water and shake it up. Those come in multiple flavors. You can get things like teas and punches and soda flavors and all kinds of flavors and add that to your water to help you stay dehydrated. Hydrated, not dehydrated. We want to be hydrated. Number 5 is medication mistakes. Make sure you pack all your medicines in your carry-on bag. Now, this would be for your airplane and your cruise, however you're getting there, train. Make sure you have that medication with you at all times and you're not checking it in case your bag gets lost. That could be very bad. So make sure your medications are with you. Make sure you write down a list of all your medications and write down what the medication name is and what the dose is you're on, maybe the milligrams, or take a picture of them with your phone. This is helpful if you were in a port or somewhere and you did forget your medicine. I know this happened to my husband once where he forgot a medication, and luckily we were still in Seattle in port and he was able to go to a pharmacy there and get it right away replaced. But it's not always that easy. You can't get these medications replaced on a cruise ship. So make sure and write a list down or take a picture of your bottles. This would also help someone you're traveling with in case something were to happen to you. If you got ill or something, they would know what medications that you were on. Another thing is if you have medication that requires refrigeration, my husband always did. He was a diabetic and his insulin had to be refrigerated. So he would take a special pack he had and put an ice pack in there to keep the medication cold. It didn't sit directly on it. There was like a little filter that went between it or some kind of ice pack to keep your medicines cold. Some people think, oh, it doesn't need to be refrigerated right away. I'll be on my cruise ship in a half an hour. But there are delays too. So to prevent this from happening, just keep a ice pack with it. Keep your medicine insulated and keep your medicine on you. Number 6 is packing too much into one cruise day. Now, this is not always easy to do on a cruise. You think of them as relaxing, but I've never really been on a cruise and been relaxed. Well, at least not with my son and granddaughter lately. Probably more relaxed when I cruised with my husband. Doing things all day long, either in ports like hiking, taking too many shore excursions, long shore excursions where you do a lot of walking and climbing and such, or just being on the cruise, going from shows, and then you're going off to dance and parties they have, different various parties, the 80s parties, the 70s parties, the disco parties, the white parties, and so on. I am always there all the time with my son and granddaughter. I'm always up dancing with my granddaughter. So it really does leave you pretty worn out. I usually come off my cruises and I'm worn out for a couple days. So it's best, if possible, to just relax throughout the day, take a quick nap, or just sit down, somewhere, sip a cocktail, sit by the pool a little bit, even go to the library, read or play a board game, or something that you could relax with and not keep going. And that will really help you out. Getting lost on board. Now, some of these mega ships are so big now with 6,000, 10,000 passengers. It's easy to get lost. Believe me, I get lost on our mid-sized ships that we're on. It just takes me a few days to even get the layout. So try to know the layout of the ship. I try to look at the deck plans, which are on the app, way before you sail. I try to look at the deck plans where everything is, where our room is, I see now that we're close to an elevator in the midship, so I've been looking around at that to try to get my feel of the ship before I even get on it. You can also watch YouTube videos where people do tours of the ship and just get the layout of it. Or you will have it on your app when you're on board that will show you the layout, so you can always look at that. Or by the elevators, there's usually always a map there of different areas of the ship telling you, wherever you want to go, showing you where you are. Or you can always ask a crew member if you get lost. Now, the best thing to do is, because I never remember our cabin number, I'm usually always asking my granddaughter, because I'm always with them, what's our cabin number? Where are we at? So you could take a picture of your room number on your door, your cabin number, and take a picture of what deck you're on. That way, if you are lost and you've forgotten your cabin number, you'd have that on your phone to pull up and show a crew member that this is where you're at, and they will gladly help you get to where you want to go or back to your cabin. Number 8 is tenderboat struggles. Now, tenderboats are the small boats that take you from the cruise ship into a port when the cruise ship can't actually dock right into port. Now, people with joint pain or walking canes or limited balance, this can be very hard for them. Stepping into the rocking boat from a moving platform can be hard. So you can ask for special assistance before you go on the tender boats, like go to guest services. But there's always crew members there that will help you, hold your arm, hold your hand, get you on the boat, get you off safely. But if you need some special assistance, if you're going aboard on a wheelchair, make sure the cruise lines lets you do that beforehand. Perhaps call in before you go, and then just go to guest services and say, hey, I'm going to need some assistance getting on this tender boat, and they'll be glad to help you. Number 9 is overlooking hearing and vision limitations at sea. When hearing or vision isn't what it used to be, it's hard for some people. From struggling to hear the announcements overhead on the intercom, or from reading the tiny dinner menu, can be frustrating. And I know this. My husband knew this. He had hearing aids. It was very, very hard for him. We'd be in areas that were so loud, and even in the dining room, he could not hear the waiter because the background noise was so loud. And I have issues with the small, tiny print, so I have to ask him to look at the menu. So some cruise lines now, like Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, offer accessibility services such as large print materials and assisted listening devices that they can give to you, and visual guides. So all you have to do is let them know in advance before you sail. Call the cruise line and tell them you have these issues, and they can get you material that will help you with your cruise. Or go to guest services on board and see if they can get you some things to help out, because it can be very frustrating. I know that, but you can get some help for these things. Number 10 is overloading your plate, and we all do this. And then sometimes our digestion system says, hey, wait a minute, your eyes were too big for this. Seniors are more prone to have more digestive issues, heartburn, and bloating because of overindulging. I know I get a lot of heartburn. I've had severe heartburn, and now I have this diverticulitis, so I have to be real careful what I eat and things like that. So enjoy your meal, but don't just overstuff. Don't go to the buffet and go, I want some of this, I want some of this, I want some of this, and then you've got a heaping plate, you've overeaten, and now you feel sick. Take your time. You're going to be on that ship for a while. Try one food this day, try one food the next day, and, enjoy the dishes that you like. If you're eating something that's a rich dish, get something to go with it, like fruit or steamed vegetables. You can try new things, but not just all at once. On the next cruise, your meal is always right around the corner. You're always eating, so you don't have to eat that all at once so that you won't feel sick later. Number 11 is letting your guard down when you're in ports. Now, sometimes it's easy to feel at ease in a port, but scammers prey on seniors or vacationers who seem to be relaxed, not really paying attention, looking in shops. This happened to me in San Francisco. We were on the wharf looking in shops. This was years ago with my husband. I've learned my lesson now. I had a little bag just hanging on my shoulder, dangling down, and someone pickpocketed me, took my wallet right out of my purse. I didn't even know it until we were walking further down to get on our boat to Alcatraz, and I started getting text messages and phone calls from my bank, my credit cards. I had my wallet stolen, and they were using my credit cards. They were using my debit card, even my medical card. They were at Target, and they had spent 500, 500, 500 on my cards. My ID was gone. My ship card was gone. Everything in my wallet was gone. So be very mindful. I now wear a crossbody bag right in front of me. It's a sling bag. It's right here so no one can get into it. I never wear a purse into port at all anymore. I wear this sling bag. And men should keep their wallet in their front pocket, not in the back. There's many, many scams and pickpocketers in this port, and they will prey on seniors. Don't wear flashy jewelry or designer bags or designer clothing into port, because that's just, get them to come up and want to steal your stuff. So keep your valuables in your safe, in your room. I don't even take like expensive jewelry or designer bags with me at all on a cruise. Keep your passport in your safe in your room. You can always take a picture of it on your phone for when you're in port, but you don't need your passport in port. You don't want to take it with you in case that gets stolen. So just protect yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. I mean, don't just be looking at items all the time. You can even get ripped off in a lot of these ports. I've heard of people where they bought an item, they take it to the back room to wrap it up. When they get back to the cruise ship, they have something entirely different that's very cheap. So just make sure you're watching them wrap your item up in front of you. Be very cautious of things in a port, and you'll do good. Number 12 is relying too much on Wi-Fi for emergencies. Now, on a cruise ship, Wi-Fi is pricey and it's not always reliable. So if a family member back home is trying to reach you, sometimes they might not be able to on your phone if the service is bad at the time. It's best to leave an itinerary back home for a friend, a family member, or maybe someone watching your pet. I always do this. I leave one for my daughter, and I leave one for the person that's watching my dog back home. I leave exactly where we're going to be every single day we're gone. Like if we're in a hotel beforehand, I will write down that hotel and I will write down the phone number. Then I write every day where we're at on the cruise. I write down the name of the cruise line and the phone number. If you look online or if you call the cruise line, you can get a phone number that is to that ship, so that if there was an emergency, that person, your person back home, could get a hold of you on the ship. Now, if they can't do that, they could always call the cruise line, and the cruise line can connect to the ship. But leave that itinerary with people. I always do it no matter where I'm going, whether it's a cruise or wherever. And I'll show we're out to sea this day, we're in this port this day. I even write down the times and then the trip back and everything. It's just a good idea to do that in case someone needs to get a hold of you. And number 13 talks about seniors that are cruising alone. Now, sailing alone, or if you're sailing again after losing a loved one, this happened to me right after my husband passed away. Like 6 months later, I was going on my first cruise with my son and granddaughter. it does trigger a lot of emotions, loneliness, and nostalgia. I know it did for me. I spent many days in my cabin just crying because it reminded me of my husband and I being on a cruise ship. So this could happen with a lot of seniors that are sailing, whether they're sailing alone or with you. So just be mindful of this. When they're thousands of miles away from home and traveling by themselves, this can be really hard sometimes. So what you should do if you're traveling alone, they do have cruises that have that have group meetups where you can actually go and meet people. They have designated areas for you. And it's not just for young people. There's older people too that you could meet up with. Sit in the dining room and ask for a shared table. My husband and I used to always sit at shared tables. We didn't really have a choice back then. And we would sit with many other people that we would meet from all over the world and make friends with. Some of their phone numbers I kept. So sit at a shared table. Join group activities on the ship. Like maybe they have a painting class or something going on where you can meet other people. Or take a group tour excursion where you can meet others that way. There's plenty of ways to meet other passengers on a cruise ship so that you don't feel so lonely, because I know that can feel very lonely. And some cruise lines do just have solo traveler areas. I mean, they have cabins for solo travelers, and then in that cabin area, they have like little places where they can go get a snack and meet up with other solo passengers. So there are cruise lines that have that out there. Number 14 is packing for the port. Now, some passengers just pack for the port they're going to be in. Say you're going to the Bahamas and it's very hot, so you're just packing shorts and little t-shirts, sandals, this and that, and you're not considering the cruise ship itself. Sometimes on a cruise ship, it can be very cold or very hot. It just depends. You might be watching a show at night and it's very cold. So you'll also want to take that into consideration. Pack a sweater, a lightweight jacket. It's best to pack lightweight layers so that you can layer your clothing and take off as needed. But sometimes, even though you're going to that hot climate, it could be cold on the ship. So just remember that and pack some extra clothes for that. So there you have it, a few tips for seniors like me. I'm a senior. I'm going to be 70 in a few months, but I'm still cruising. Some of us are very active. Some of us aren't that active, but that's okay. You can just get on the cruise ship, no matter what your level activity is, and have fun, relax, or go out there full force, whichever you want to do. You'll have a wonderful time. So I want to thank you all for stopping by today. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me. So I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you all again on my channel, The Golden Cruiser. Bye for now.